Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I did a thing. I did my Ancestry DNA test. Now, I've had the kit to do this for about 3 years now. I got it for Christmas of 2019, I believe. And I've just had it in my room, like, procrastinating for 3 years to send out my results, okay? But I finally did it. And I don't know why I was procrastinating so much. The process was so simple. I got my results faster than the instructions say I would get them. It said I would get them, I believe, like in 8 weeks around there. I got it in less than a month, and the whole process took less than a month. So let's just let me explain the process before I begin. So first of all, the kit came like this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let it focus. It came like this. I don't know if the kits look differently now, just because this was 3 years ago. This was gifted to me 3 years ago. But this is how mine came. It was very easy to set up. You literally just go online, activate the code that it gives you. You must activate it because then you can't track your results or anything. You must activate it. And then it comes with like a little, I wish I had the actual stuff with me, but I don't because obviously I sent it out. It comes with like a little tube where you have to spit until the line. So they use your saliva to collect your DNA if you don't know how this works yet. And then it has like some blue liquid, which is the activator to activate your DNA and basically to preserve your DNA while it, gets shipped out and everything. And you basically, it's like a little blue liquid and you just close it and it releases into the sample. But one thing I do want to say is that I had a little bit of a rough time with it, so I had to like open and close it so I could fully release. So let's say you haven't done it yet and you have that issue, just keep opening and closing it and you'll get it. So I did that and the process was super simple, and they just kept sending me, you can check off the box where they send you updates through text or email. I did both, so I did email and text, so I would get updates every now and then where they would tell me like, oh, your DNA is being processed, or we received your DNA sample. They just update you every step of the way, which is awesome. As far as I know, I'm Puerto Rican. I am 100% Boricua. I am Puerto Rican. That's what I've grown up to know, that I come from Puerto Rico, the island. My grandparents are from Puerto Rico. Both sets of grandparents are from Puerto Rico. My parents are from Puerto Rico. So that's what I've come to know. But if you know any history about Puerto Rico, you know that Puerto Ricans are very mixed. So we have mixed blood. We have blood from Africa, we have blood from Spain, from everywhere. So I'm very curious to know where my roots stem from, and I'm very excited to share it with you guys. So here we go. Alright, so I'm going to read to you guys my results from my phone, and I'll put them somewhere on the screen so you can follow along. So the first one I got was 35% Spain. That is not surprising to me at all, because I do know that my grandmother's mother's family migrated to Puerto Rico from Spain, so that is not surprising to me. And I know that from my father's side I also have a similar story like that. I just don't know all the details. I have to ask my grandfather, but that's not surprising to me. Next, I have 24% Portugal, so that's also not surprising because Portugal is right next to Spain, so there was some travel in there. My third one is 16% indigenous Puerto Rico. Hello, I'm Puerto Rican. No, but indigenous Puerto Rico as in the Taino Indians. And I know that they say that the Taino Indians are extinct, but there has been new research to say that that is not the case. And I am living proof, because clearly I have 16% in my blood. I carry them within me. Next one I have is Cameroon, Congo, and Western Bantu peoples, 4% of that, and I believe that is all in like the Africa area. Next I have England and Northwestern Europe, 3% of that, and that includes the areas of England, Belgium, the Netherlands, France, Switzerland. And that is not surprising to me, because since it does include France, my last name is French and it's very uncommon. Not many people have my last name, but as a Puerto Rican, I feel like my last name is not common at all, and it's very rare that you hear of my last name. And when I look it up, it does come from France, so I am not surprised of that. Somewhere down the line, I'm from France. Next is Northern Africa, 3%. Now, something that they did give is they gave me Northern Africa, and then they gave me like different areas from Africa. So I'm gonna add up the percentages and tell you exactly what my African roots are at the end, but let's just go one step at a time. So Northern Africa is 3%. I have Basque. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I am mispronouncing any of these. Is 3% from Basque, and Basque is located in Spain. It says it's primarily located in Spain, so that's not surprising because hello, it just said that I was what, 35% Spain. Next is 2% Nigeria, and that is in Western Africa, I believe. Nigeria is Northwest Africa according to this map. I have 2% Mali, 2% Senegal, 2% Benin and Togo, 1% Ivory Coast and Ghana, 1% Sweden and Denmark, 1% Northern Italy, and 1% Cyprus. When I looked up what the Northern Italy region was referring to, it also included France in there, so I'm assuming that that is what they're getting that from because of my last name. I am almost sure that is what it's from because of my last name. So yeah, that is my ethnicity makeup. I'm not surprised at it at all. I was expecting to have a pretty diverse map there because, as I said, Puerto Ricans are very mixed, so you don't know what to expect. I know that there's some Puerto Ricans who took this test and had different things. They had Cuba, they had Mexico, they had, you know, Puerto Ricans are very diverse. Now, what I found interesting is that it locates you to a certain community, and it located me to Puerto Rico, clearly, because that is where I come from. And what I found even more interesting about that is that it located me to the specific areas that I'm mostly from, and it was accurate because my father's side mostly comes from like the northern Puerto Rico. So okay, so I'm gonna show you guys. I'll show you guys on the screen. So northwestern and central so what it has listed for me is northwestern and central Puerto Rico, south central Puerto Rico, and southwestern Puerto Rico. My grandparents from my father's side are from Arecibo. Okay, my camera got cut off for a second because I ran out of storage. I had to delete some old clips I had in my camera, but what I was saying is that my grandparents from my father's side, I believe my grandfather and my grandmother, they live in Hatillo, Puerto Rico. So it's interesting that it highlighted that area. And then my grandfather from my mother's side lives in Sahemang, so, and he's from that general area. So it highlighted that general area, whereas Mayagüez, Hormigueros, Sabana Grande, Guanica, Guayanilla, Ponce. So I mean, this is traced back to several ancestors, but it's just very interesting that that is where both my set of grandparents live, and it's listing that right there. Another thing that I found very interesting about this DNA test is that it actually matched me with family members that have taken the DNA test as well. So it matched me with some of my cousins, it matched me with an aunt, it kind of gives you like the closest family members first, and then it gives you like extended family members. So it matched me with some of my cousins that I actually do know first, and then it matched me with several thousands of people that are extended family that I have no idea who they are, I've never met, but I thought that was pretty cool. And in the extended family, I found some people with my same last name that like I told you guys, it is a very rare last name. And I thought that was interesting because I'm like, we have to be family, right? But I thought that was interesting. This kind of stuff really does interest me, and I went on a whole loophole like for like 3 hours looking up information, looking up family members, looking up this and that. It was so interesting to me. If you've never taken a DNA test like this, I definitely encourage you to take one because it's so good to know like what your makeup is, like where do you come from. I am definitely having my mother, my father, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents take this test because I kind of am interested to know what their, you know, makeup is, because obviously I have less. Let's say like at Spain, for example, I have obviously less than my mother or my father. You know, I'm just interested to see what they would get. But now that I have this kind of genetic makeup of what where I come from, I'm kind of interested in visiting these places now. Like, I just kind of want to visit them because, like, hello, my ancestors are from there. Specifically Cyprus. I know it's just 1%, but it's such a beautiful country. Like, I looked it up and it looks super beautiful and I really want to visit. So that is my DNA. That is where I come from. I wanted to share it with you guys. If you stood for the whole video, I appreciate you immensely, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.